So cue the spooky music. Here we are, late night edition of Lame Productions. I am the president of Lame, Dave Fuller. No, what it is, it's a Friday night and I can't sleep. And, so I'm sitting here. What do you do when you can't sleep? Your mind just kind of wanders, right? So here I am with mind wandering. And, I did a video a while back that I put on TikTok that I think I want to put on this channel too. About me talking about some of the experiences I've had in my house growing up. Not in this house, but the house we had growing up. We had quite a bit of scary things that happened in the house. And, since this channel is kind of about legendary mysterious explorations, whether that be fishing or whatever, hold on, or whatever, definitely this fits within the realm of that. But I thought every once in a while I'd just kind of pop on here, maybe do a late night story where I talk about how our house was haunted. And I know that as soon as I say that, a lot of people are just going to roll their eyes, and that's okay. I get that, it's been so overplayed, and, I'll be honest with you. Oftentimes I sit there and I look back and I wonder myself, did I really experience that? Did that really happen? And ultimately, when my brothers and sisters and I get together that it all happened to, it's very difficult to deny. There's no doubt in our minds that this stuff really happened. Tonight's not going to be a very scary experience, just because I'm trying my best to do them chronologically. So I did the other one, and I'm going to post that, and then I'll post this one. Anyhow, so in the first video, I talked about how we would play haunted house. We would have friends from church and everything come over, and all the kids would get together and we'd go upstairs and play haunted house. And I talked about how in the last video, how my sister, I went in her room. That was my room to kind of be the ghost or ghoul or whatever in that room. And I got scared while I was in there. Something creepy was going on that we just couldn't explain. Radios ended up turning on, lights turning on and off, and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, so this was a day where I had just went into her room in the middle of the day. But she used to bring home these, I think it was for band. She would bring home these chocolate bars, and I think she was supposed to sell them to get some kind of prize. I don't know, but I don't know if she got in trouble for this or not. But we would sit there. I would sit there and I would eat all her chocolate bars. Or if she didn't have any chocolate bars, she had this cool little strawberry shortcake oven. That's how old I am. And we would go and we would cook stuff in her strawberry shortcake oven. I'd much rather have the chocolate bars though. Anyway, I was in a room, I believe, messing around with the chocolate bars. And I mentioned before this was an old house, but I was standing over by her closet, and something forcefully pushed me and my dog, big dog, into the closet, shut the door, and held the knob from the outside. Now, I had no chance of turning this knob because, like I said, old house, the knob on the inside of the closet was literally like my finger here, all right? And there might have been a lock on the end of it, but it was just like that, you couldn't really get a grip and turn on it. So something was on the other side of the door holding it shut so that I could not turn the knob at all. And I was terrified. The closet was dark. My dog's whining and growling and trying to get to whatever it is that's on the other side of this door. It's holding me in there. And this went on for, I really don't know how long. I think I kind of lost track of time because I knew that I couldn't get out. Ultimately, at the end of the day, after a few hours, someone came and opened the door. What are you doing in Jennifer's closet? And I don't even think I mentioned that I was pushed. I was just so glad to be out. Yeah, that was kind of an early on thing that happened. I know it's not that scary, but I want to try to talk about these in chronological order as I bring them up and throw them out there for story. Yeah, I mean, just little things like that that would happen. Uh, in a lot of them, you'd think that's not that big of a deal. You know, that was small potatoes in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, I was pushed into a closet, but nothing really happened from it. There's certain things that I can tolerate, and even at 8 years old, 7, 8 years old, when that happened, there's certain things you can tolerate and certain things you can't. That was one of the things where I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, life goes on. Um, but yeah, so I guess that's my scary story for tonight. If you like the story, I'm getting kind of tired. I did take my sleeping meds, and they're starting to kick in. So anyway, that's your story for tonight. If you like the story, it resonated with you, and maybe you've got a similar story and you'd like to share, I'd love to hear it. I'm always fascinated. Please don't send any, don't comment any like fake stories. I mean, I don't want to be mean or anything, but just like, I think that too many people make too much stuff up nowadays, and it's just not good. It just puts the whole thing in a negative light, and that people look at that as like, oh, anyway, you might, I mean, I would love to hear your story as long as it's real. So anyway, if you like the video, you found value in this content, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, take care. Good night.